yesterday we started this problem. So write an equation of the line j. So we don't know what j is. Passing through the point 2, 3. That is perpendicular to the line k with the equation y equals negative 2x plus 2. A lot of students say that they're visual learners, so I highlighted this equation, line k, in green, and we graphed it. This is in slope-intercept form because y is by itself. The constant is your y-intercept, 2. It has a slope of negative 2, so a rise of negative 2, so that would be down 2, and then a run of positive 1, which is right. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. It said go through that point 2, 3, which means that if I graph the point 2, 3, which I can't graph, right 2, up 3, I'm going to assume it's going to be something like this. Does that make sense? It's meant to make right angles. It's like a perfect plus sign. Okay? We summarized that what we need to do is find the slope of this line, k. So the slope of k is negative 2. To find the slope of the undrawn line, line j, the pink line which we have not drawn, I have to take the slope of the first line, k, and what we're doing is the product of the two slopes is negative 1. So perpendicular lines, when you multiply their two slopes, it equals negative 1. Well, the slope of the first one is negative 2. I just need to solve for m2. Divide both sides by negative 2. Your slope is positive 1/2. Let me show you a different way of getting the same slope or the same answer. We talked about in my story, I don't think I told this class a story. You can watch my story online. Class, what does the reciprocal mean? Everyone say flip. So how would you flip that? 1 over 2. And we need to take the negative reciprocal. Class, what's the opposite of a negative? Positive. That means the slope of j, we could put MJ, the greatest basketball player ever. The slope of line j is 1/2. So what I've done there is I've shown you in two ways how to get this number, 1/2. So let's review what we have. I have the slope. You can choose either one of these 1/2s because it's the same. And we have that point 2, 3. If you look at the three different types of forms, which form has slope and a point? Which form is that, class? Is that slope-intercept form? No, because I don't have the y-intercept. Is that standard form? No, because standard form is too hard to work with. So I'm going to use point slope form. Raise your hand if you wrote that down. Good job. Point slope. Move your desk next to your partner. Partner A, tell partner B what point slope form is.
On right now? Okay.
Mary Grace, what is point slope form? I'm using this called point slope form because I have a point and the slope. I'm going to highlight this x and the y in green because these two variables do not change when you put in the substitution. So when I do the substitution now, I'm going to call this one x1, y1, because that's the only order pair I have. And now I'm going to do a substitution. My y1 value is 3. My slope is 1/2, parentheses, x minus my x1 value, which is 2. And now I have an equation in point slope form. Class, does it tell us very specifically what type of equation they want us to draw? They don't. Let's just say I change the problem and it says, write an equation in slope-intercept form. Class, is this slope-intercept form? No. So to answer the question, I would probably just leave it like this. This is my best answer. Because it doesn't tell me specifically, but if it does ask you slope-intercept form, let's practice that right now. Slope-intercept form means to get which variable by itself? The y variable. So let's go ahead and get the y variable by itself. I'm going to go ahead and distribute. 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. 1/2 times -2 is, let's say you don't see it. Class, how do you make that 2 there a fraction? Multiply across, 1 times 2, 2 times 1. So 2 divided by 2 is, this will equal -1. Let's go ahead and get y by itself. Add 3. Y equals 1/2 x plus 2. Now, I'm going to highlight this in pink because we already actually designated this color for the line J. Line J, the unknown line, is passing through point 2, 3. So let's see if I graph this, and let's see if that line goes through point 2, 3. Start here at the y-intercept of 2. I have a rise of 1 and a run of 2. Rise 1, run 2. Look at that. It actually goes through that point. Amazing. You didn't have to graph it, but it gives you a visual of what's happening to the problem. So let's review. In this problem, they ask you to write an equation, any of the 3 forms. They tell you a point. They tell you it's perpendicular. They give you an equation. Take that equation, find its slope. If it's parallel, you would keep it as that same slope. If it's perpendicular, take the negative reciprocal. Take the slope, take the point, write an equation, and get what they ask you for.